Well, Marvelous Muses, how are we doing, guys? So, tonight we are going to work on our project, but first I want to say a big thank you to Resiners. They sent me their new G3 curing machine. We're going to unbox this, and I'm going to show you how it works. I'm sure you've seen other people doing it, but I'm so grateful. I have their tumbler cure, and I have the air purifier. I use it constantly. So, thank you so much, Resiners. We'll be back in just a minute. Let me get this unboxed, and we'll get it taken out and set up, and I'll show you all the features of it. So we're going to start out with the book first. I've got it unboxed. I haven't plugged it in or anything like that. But I'm going to go through the book first, and we're going to talk a little bit about this machine. This is a dual curing resin machine. It cures UV resin and epoxy resin. And it has a mode where you can cure deeper molds and shallow molds. So it is a dual cure. So, of course, it tells you a little bit about everything here. Has a customer service. You can scan the QR code to get an instructional video. So, you have your time and temperature display. You have your handle. You have a top cover. The top cover is where all of your functions are at and the machine itself. There's an air hole right here. And then your operation panel is right here. You have a silicone mat that goes in the center. The base with the opening facing upward. You can have it like that for deeper molds. So if you see here, it's kind of got like a little, it looks like a tray almost. And then for shallower molds or UV resin, you could flip it this way. And if there, it looks more like a table. So, you have your power and function buttons. Here we go. Power and function button. You're going to touch and hold the power button and hold it to power it off. When the device is turned on, you click to switch the function mode. So you can switch it. That's how you can switch it from resin to UV resin. I believe it's a deep or shallow. We'll find out more about that here in a minute. Flat mold or tall mold. There we go. Is what it's called. You have a time and temperature button. It will display as temperature. Click to switch it to display as time. The default display is time. You can have less time, so if you don't think you need to cure it for a whole 2 hours, you can not cure it for that long. Or if you want to increase the time. Flat mold is suitable for flat molds, coasters, jewelry molds, bookmarks. It's recommended to be 1.5 inches deep or no more. The tall mold is suitable for molds up to 5 inches tall, from 1.5 to 5 inches tall, which I'm excited for. The UV light mold is used for curing UV resin. It's recommended to cure the front, then flip the mold over and cure the back. You have a time display. The flat mold and high mold display hours and minutes, while the UV resin shows minutes and seconds. Time is displayed in a real countdown mode. 131 degree Fahrenheit indicates the set temperature, and at this time is 131, and the display is 55 Celsius. Unit switching, you can switch from Fahrenheit to Celsius depending on where you're at the country. And it has a cool mode where once it's done curing, it goes into cool mode. So when you take the mold out, it's not warm still. It has all your voltage information, stuff like that. Base with the opening facing upward. Flat mold, tall mold. There's usage scenarios. Flat mold, tall mold, and UV. The height limit in area A is 3 inches. So that's in your UV resin area. That's here in the center. That is 3 inches. The illustration shows your UV area. When it's in use, place the piece on the mold as centered as possible. The base with the opening facing downward. The height is limited to 1 inch. And in that area, area B is 2.6 inches. In this one here, area B is 5 inches. Again, you're going to place the UV. The UV is only in the center. You can't put it around the outside edge here. It's only in the center. Usage steps, it's going to show you here. You're going to put the base on the countertop. You're going to put your silicone mat in there. Depending on which mold you're going to use. Tonight, we are going to use a deeper mold, so we're going to flip this way. You're going to place the mold on the silicone mat. You're going to place it in different areas, depending on how tall it is. So if you're going to use a tall mold, you want it on the outside areas. If you see here, tall mold for epoxy, you're going to have it here. UV, you're going to have it right in the center. And tall for UV, again, right in the center. Flat mold for epoxy and UV. And then you're going to plug it in. And we're going to do that here in just a little bit. And we're actually going to go through this part here. And we're going to talk about all of the modes first before we actually do our pour. You can remove, the nice thing about that silicone mat is I have spilt resin before in my curing machine. And the nice thing about the silicone mat is you can remove it and you can peel your silicone, your resin, cured resin out of it. So we are going to do this, and of course the book is in multiple languages, so depending on what language you speak. This is a very handy machine if you live somewhere where the weather gets cold in the wintertime and it's hard to cure your resin. It's also handy if you just need to cure something in a short amount of time. Say somebody's birthday's coming up and you want to make them a set of coasters or a housewarming gift for somebody or something like that, and you just need to make something for them in a short amount of time. It's very handy for that because you don't have to wait for the 8-hour or 12-hour curing process. I do like the fact that it has the UV light built in as well, so that way if you need to cure something with UV, you can as well. I don't do a ton of UV resin projects, but we will try it here in the next day or two. But for now, like I said, we're going to do the deep one. The mold that I'm putting in is, I believe, 3.5 inches tall. And maybe not even that tall. It might be 3 inches. So we're going to do that. And like I said, we'll plug it all in. We'll see how it looks and get it all set up and ready to use. I'll see you in a little bit, guys. So before we get into the curing machine to finish it, I just want to say a thank you to Resiners. They sent me the filter to replace, because if you notice, this filter is blinking red. It's been blinking red for a bit now. So I'm going to show you guys just how easy it is to change this. So we're going to turn this off. Where are we at here? Oh, this one. So we're going to turn it off. Now, I'm going to hold this base down here. Okay, so now if you notice, I just held down on the base and I lifted it up. Now, can you see this? Okay. So, I'm going to grab the new one out here. I want you to see a difference in them. Now, I don't know if you can see. Put my flash on here. Can you see all the particles in there? Yeah. Like I said, I am so impressed with this machine. Let me put you on pause right quick. I gotta take this out of the plastic and I can't do it with one hand. Alright, so we are back. I got it out. And we're going to put it in just like that. Pick this part up here. And oh, it's this one. Psst. Okay, do I have it on? Or did I unplug it accidentally? Not on. Hang on, let me put you on pause. Let me see what's going on here. Okay, guys, I realize what the issue is. I forgot there's a plug here, and it plugs in right there on top. So I'm going to plug this in, and then I'll put it back on, and we'll be right back. Okay, so I got the filter changed. It does have a writing on the top that says this side up. And then to reset the filter, you hold down the fan button. And we are reset. So we are in auto mode. I think it's auto. Hang on, let me see. There we go. We're in automatic mode, and we will stay that way so it does what it needs to do when it needs to do it. But I want to say thank you again to Resiners for sending me the filter. I appreciate it greatly. And it is going to get used just like the last one. Alright. Now, we'll go back to the video of the curing machine. We are going to talk a little bit about the machine now that I have it set up. I have it where it is. Can you see the base of it? It looks like a tray. Now, I could flip this over if I needed to, if it's a shallow mold, but I'm going to use a deeper mold in it. So, it sits on here just like so. Fits perfect. Now, to push the button to turn it on, you're going to hold the button down. I have it where it's on full, on tall, but if you press the button again, it changes to UV, and the UV light underneath comes on. You can change your time if you want it for longer than 30 seconds. And then flat. Flat is if you flip the base over and you have a flat mold like a coaster. So, this has your temperature on it. You can change it to Fahrenheit or to Celsius, but I have mine on Fahrenheit. It defaults to 2 hours. If you want it less than that, you can make it less than that. You can increase your... I don't think you can... Yeah, you can actually increase the time. Wow, okay. And you can decrease the time. So say you think, well, you only need to cure it for an hour. You can do that. So there's the basics of it. Now I'm going to put this on pause. I'm going to actually turn it off. I'm going to mix up my resin. I'm going to bring my mold over, and we're going to put the mold in here. It is going to be a 3-part pour. I'm going to do this in 3 parts. And it's going to take what would normally be at least a minimum of 2-day project and turn it into a few hour project. So I'll be back in a few minutes, guys. We are back. So I'm going to mix up just a small amount of resin here. This is the mold I'm going to use. I just got this. It's a surprise, so I'll show you that whenever we're done. I don't need much resin at all for this. I'm going to say maybe 2 ounces. I don't even know if I need that much. Hang on, let me look. Yeah, I guess we'll go 2 ounces. If I don't need it all, I'll do something else with it. Well, here we go. Let's see. Actually, I'm going to do an ounce and a half. So I'm going to do 3/4 of an ounce. Okay. And then we're going to go up to the 1.5 ounce mark. Okay, perfect. I'm going to mix my resin. I'm going to put a interference shimmer green in here, and then we're going to put it in the debubbler for 5 minutes and let it debubble, and we'll be back when we're ready to go pour it. So I'm going to stir it first. I'll show you putting the powder in so you see how much I put in. But we're going to put it in for layer 1, and we'll be back in 3 minutes while I'm stirring. And then, like I said, I'll mix the powder in, and then we'll debubble it, and I'll show you me pouring it. Okay, guys, we're back. So now we're going to pour some of this powder in. Just like that. Okay, so I'm going to put this in the debubbler. When it's done, I'll meet you over at the curing machine, and I'm going to show you the process, basically. We're going to set it up. I'm going to let this run. I'm going to let it run for its 2 hours. I probably wouldn't need to pour the next layer. Actually, I could probably do it in, I might set it to do it in an hour. I'll come back in, I'll pour the next layer. We'll let it cure for an hour. Come back in, pour the last layer, and let it all cure for 2 hours. So that's going to be my plan anyway. So we'll be back when we're ready to pour. So we are back. So I got my mold here. Now with the tall molds, because the machine, see the piece in the center there, how it comes down? So you don't want to set your tall mold in the middle for any reason. You want it to be on the outside edge, like here. See where I have it? And I'm going to pour straight down into the center. A little bit more. Alright, perfect. So we're going to put the top on this, because we're doing another layer. I'm going to reduce the time to an hour, and then we'll come back and I'll pour the next layer in an hour. I'll see you then. An hour has been gone, so I'm going to take the lid off of here. I'm going to pour in my next layer. A little bit more. Yeah, a little bit more. Perfect. Okay, we're going to put the lid back on here. Oops, don't want to knock it over. Trying to do this, film it one-handed. Yeah. Oh, it's because I have cords under it. That helps. Alright, so now back on. Okay, and we're going to back it down to an hour again. And then I'll be back in an hour. We'll pour the final layer, and we'll let it cure for 2 hours. So I'll see you back, guys. So we're back to pour this last layer here. This bottom part right here is just, it's weird. Yep. Nope, nope, nope. Overflowing. Alright, I'm going to put you guys on pause. I'm going to get this cleaned up and cured, and we'll be back. Guys, so I just wanted to show you, it's in cool down mode now. So it tells you when it's cool. It's been 2 hours. We're going to take our project out there. I did clean up part of the resin, but I'm going to show you how easy that pops off that silicone mat. So we'll be back when this is cooled. We're back. So I wanted to show you on the mat here. You saw where I had spilled the resin on the mat. That's actually really cool. I may put that in something. I may use it on a resin project. That's actually really cool. Yeah, I think I'm going to keep that, use it in something. That's really cool. You can use it on a tray or something. That's fun. And then the little pieces here, of course, just pick off. You can also use tape and use that to get it off. Pretty cool, huh? So, I'm going to put that back in my curing machine. Now, when I poured this mold is like wonky. If you see here, I don't know if you could see there's still part of the mold that is missing, part of the design. And I was going to do, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a little bit of UV resin in the bottom here, some black UV resin, just to fill this part in because it's missing letters if I don't. There's letters on the bottom. And I was going to put it in, I can't put it in the curing machine because the UV light is too low down for this mold. If it was a flatter one, I could put it in there and show you the UV. I will be showing you the UV portion of that here in a couple days. But I wanted to show you, I took a project that would be, it was 3 pours. That would have been at least a 2-day project. At least 2 days to get it done and cured and everything. And I did an hour for this cure, an hour for this cure, and 2 hours for at the end. So 4 hours. In 4 hours, I did a three different color pour mold. So what I'm going to do here, because I don't want this to run off, I'm going to take my UV resin and I'm going to tilt my mold and hold it while I cure it. Because like I said, I need this part here filled in. Yeah, the mold's kind of weird. Because when I tried to fill it up enough to get to this part of it, it overflowed. And I'm trying to see here how I can do this. Alright. Let's spread a little bit up here so kind of make this bottom even. Alright, so we're almost up to this edge here. Alright. So I'm going to give this just a quick little cure right quick. And then I'm going to put it under my curing lamp for a couple minutes and let it cure. It's thin. It'll cure. Just so when I set it down, it doesn't move. I don't want it to move. Again, guys, I'm going to say thank you to Resiners. Not only for the curing machine, but for sending me the filter for the air purifier. It is in it. It's working. It's on. Like I said, I run it constantly in here. All right, I'm gonna get my curing machine down. I'm gonna cure it right quick, and I will be right back with you. Okay, guys, this is done. So we're gonna cure it. I can already tell looking at it that I didn't pour enough of the orange. I should have poured more orange, but that's alright. No, actually, I should have poured more white. And then the orange. He looks funny. So it's supposed to be like a, I guess he's a, I want to say like a little, he's got the hood on and the little cape, but I can't tell. I think on the picture on Temu when I got it, it showed this looking like skeleton. I think he's supposed to be like a little skeleton. with a hood on. That's funny. And the bottom of it, I don't know if you can read it, says Happy Halloween. So what I'm going to do on the bottom here, just so we can read it a little bit easier, I take my pen and I use it kind of like you would rub and buff, and I just dab it onto my finger, and while it's wet, I rub it over the top of the letters. Do one more time. Right. Get him. Alright. I think I want to color the eyes in black. Got little bitty eyes for... Maybe it's supposed to be like a little kid in a Halloween costume. And he's sitting on a pumpkin. And this way. This is going to be the hard one. Alright, so we got his teeth are jagged here. Alright. So this is my little guy I made. Again, 3 pours in 5 hours. Pretty good there. So I will have the link in the description box for the curing machine, as well as for the air purifier. So if you guys need one, like I said, I may break down and buy me a new one for in my kitchen, just because you guys know I'm allergic to Cosmo, and for the kitchen and living room area, it would be really handy to have one in there to get rid of pet nanders, stuff like that. And I can move it back and forth. It's not heavy. It's just, it's got its place, and I kind of want it to live out here where it needs to be. I'm here pouring resin quite a bit, so I want it to be where I can make good use of it. So, alright guys, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, I would greatly appreciate it if you did. I hope everyone has a wonderful night. Hope your resin cure is beautiful. Your craft projects turn out amazing. I hope you're happy, healthy, safe, and blessed. And I will see you guys tomorrow night. Bye.